Hey y'all, hey, it's Trey here with another Rivals 2 recap on my YouTube channel. Please remember to subscribe to my channel because I do these every week and I make fun of people like Trey when he gets disqualified for sucking so bad. Or something like that. I don't know. Here's Ace's Rivals 2 recap. Watch this shit, yo. You'll like it, I think.
Hey y'all, hey, what's up? Ace here with another week of your Rivals 2 Challenge recaps. We gotta start it off right. We're on episode 9, so best be cracking open a beverage. First, I want to say thank you to Trey for sending in that awesome intro. Thanks, Trey. I haven't had many intros this season. I know, I'm sorry for you guys if you missed them or whatever, but the vets are back and they don't care. I'll try to have a couple for you guys, though, before the end of the season, which is coming fast. That's what she said. Everybody go follow Trey on Twitter. You're probably already doing so. Tell him Ace sent you because we're like total BFFs. Here we are in episode 9, and it starts out with everybody working out. Everybody's got anxiety about this challenge because it's getting really close to the final, you guys. Preston also started off the show with something funny to say about Knight. He said that he has like a case of herpes that he can't get rid of and he can't think for himself. When Preston's talking shit about you, something's wrong. Because usually people are talking shit about Preston. Just saying. At the club, CT and DM are getting real close to each other, you guys. They start making out. Ow! I personally love CT and DM together. Do you love CT and DM together? Tell me down in the comments. I want to know if you like it too, or if you're like the rest of the house and you're kind of pissed off because this is all happening. DM wants to come back to CT's bunk when they get back home, and he's all like, bow chicka bow wow. He's putting up blankets on the bunks to serve as curtains so they can get it on. And he turns around and DM just fell asleep as soon as she laid down in the bed, so that isn't happening. So in the morning, CT said the DM was going to play the DM card on him, which apparently means that she doesn't remember anything from the night before, the making out with him and all that stuff. And she actually does in the interview portion. She's like, I don't really remember what happened. I mean, I had a couple of drinks. And then everybody, when they wake up in the morning, they play the game Never Have I Ever, and they were like, never have I ever made out with CT, and then said I was gonna go back to his bunk to do it, and then I fell asleep. And she's like hiding behind the couch, like, oh my god, that's totally me. Never have I ever watched an episode of the challenge completely sober. Have I? Probably not. I'm gonna drink anyway though, so yeah. So for last night's challenge, it was awesome. It was called Rampage, and it was like 4 skating ramps that were connected to each other, and 2 teams went against each other. They both had to run up the ramps, grab balls, come back down, run up other ramps, put balls in baskets. And the first person to get 20 baskets, whatever, the time runs out. It's like 3 minutes or something. Who cares? Anyway, the team that gets the most in at the end wins. Good thing they're all such good hoopers. Who said that? Tell me down in the comments. So CT and Wes picked the first 2 teams to go in, and they choose Johnny and Frank versus Marlon and Jordan to go up against each other. I really dug this challenge and all, but wouldn't it have been way more funny if they like put them in rollerblades or like on skateboards? Somebody would have hurt themselves. They should have put them on BMX bikes. Hello? TJ11? Then they would have really hurt themselves. TJ would have had to get up there and show them how it's done. So Frank and Johnny start out looking awesome on this challenge. I mean, they went up and down, up and down, up and down, until Johnny starts to slow down. This challenge looks exhausting. At the end of the challenge, Johnny's literally laying on the ramp. I get the wind knocked out of me. I can't breathe. I wonder when certain members of the challenge are gonna stop coming on to the challenge. How many challenges do you guys think Johnny has left in him? Tell me down in the comments. Go bananas on that question. Anyway, Johnny gets up from the ramp, then Johnny starts puking. Wes is calling him a little girl, pathetic beached whale. All those things. He had a lot to say. Now for the women. It's Cookin' Car Maria. Cookin' Car Maria against Paula and Emily. I wonder who will win. Everybody starts off good, up and down and balls and baskets, and boom! Cara Maria runs right into Cook, her own partner. Cara Maria's pads keep falling off, her elbow pads and her knee pads, so she's just like standing there like trying to fix everything, like there's not a time limit on this shit. Just stop messing with your pads, just run! Oh God, my pads. You guys, they keep falling off. Am I in a challenge right now? She looked a hot mess for this challenge. Paula starts to lose it a little at the end, but Emily's helping her. That's fucking teamwork. Obviously, Cook's pissed off because they did worse than Paula and Emily because Cara Maria was just standing around fixing her pads. The funniest matchup last night was Jemmy and Camilla versus Anissa and DM. I laughed the entire time. Everybody was falling and failing all over the place. I love how they kept showing everybody trying to get up the ramp and they would just get to the top and they would just slide back down. Hilarious. I don't even remember who did better than the other. Funny. Next is Knight and Preston versus CT and West. I thought from the beginning that this matchup was a joke, but once it started, it was like the best fight so far. They were like jumping over each other to get their balls in the baskets, and West and CT were making this look like no big deal at all. CT and West actually got all 20 of their balls in the basket, and then they were just sitting on the side of the ramp like, hey, you got any more balls? We have nothing to do, so we're just gonna sit here and hang out. So it's safe to say that CT and West did better than Knight and Preston in this challenge. So by only 2 seconds, Paula and Emily won for the girls, and of course CT and West won for the guys. And they are not shy about being excited about winning, ever. But the way West talks when they put the camera on him in his interviews really drives me crazy, because he talks like this. We're obviously winners, and that's just what we do. And I am Wes. I am a Greek god. And they just don't know what they're getting themselves into. So Knight and Preston are automatically going to the jungle. And now back at the house, when everybody goes back to deliberate, Marlon is already mentally preparing himself because he knows that they're rookies. They're going to get voted in to this last guy's jungle, right? And he's okay with that, y'all, because he is not afraid of Knight or Preston. I like how Frank and Paula were talking at one point, and Frank was like laying on the couch, and Paula was like laying on her stomach on the floor, and they blurred out all of Paula's ass. Like, what was going on down there? I don't want to know. So when deliberation happens, most of the ladies do go with Jordan and Marlon to go into the jungle. No shocker there. So it's going to be Prite and Neston. It's going to be Prite and Neston versus Marlon and Jordan in today's jungle. So after they tell the remaining guy teams that they were safe and they were all going to the final, somewhere in all of that supposed to be happiness, Wes decides to make fun of Johnny for puking on today's challenge. Johnny brings up Wes being carried by Kenny in a previous challenge because he couldn't make it up the hill and Kenny had to carry him, which was hilarious. I remember that. They should just all be happy that they made it to the final, but no dice. These guys gotta fight about something, and I like it. So Bananas is going bananas. CT is sticking up for Wes. Weird. They start going at each other and getting in each other's face, and all the other teams are like, I really hope one of them throws a punch because then we're automatically in the final. Yeah, I really hope somebody throws a punch too because then we're automatically in the final. I like how Wes let us know last night all the stuff that he has. I got a BMW, a house, a Porsche, and 30 companies. What do you have? What do you have? I want to see these 30 companies. How many companies do you need? Did he say 30 companies or was I just hearing shit last night? What? Now all Wes and CT have done is make Johnny more pumped for the final. So I don't know if that was such a smart idea. But anyway, moving on into the jungle. It's that fun breaking on through challenge where there's like towers with 4 floors and trap doors, and each trap door is made out of a different thing and they have to like break some and they have to like clip through some and whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. It reminds me of like the little Mario game. You remember that game? Was it Mario? We had to go through the different floors and like try to come down and like things were trying to come up to get you and like if you got stuck you couldn't go anywhere. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of. Preston has on his fancy top hat for good luck from Party City. Oh, you fancy, huh? So once they start off in this jungle, tension is high. Marlon and Jordan are doing better than Preston and Knight so far. Shocker. Knight cannot get through the second 4 chain links for anything. He's using a tool to clip chain links. Marlon and Jordan are doing it very strategically. They know like where they have to go, but Knight cannot get, it looks like he can't even get through 1 chain link like with this thing. Preston's just standing there because he can't do anything because you have to rotate people in this challenge. Marlon did get stuck for a second hanging through the chain link thing. It's pretty funny. But he made it through and Knight's still trying to clip through that shit. Okay, he's still there. He's still working. Come on, Knight. Now Knight's trying a different strategy where he's just gonna try to repeatedly jump on the chain link thing. I guess I could call it a chain link fence even though it's on the ground. Anyway, he's jumping on it, trying to, maybe this will work. It's not gonna work. Then Jordan and Marlon are at the bottom one and they're trying to just run and ram into the door without even taking the locks off. Like they give you something to like beat the locks off the door first, then you run through it. I don't even think they did that first before they just started trying to run through the door. Like you're not gonna just run through the door, okay? Finally they get the locks off and Jordan and Marlon win. They do a win for the rookies and there's gonna be rookies in the final. Rookie Revolution in the final. Rookie Revolution in the final. That's like my go-to song. It's like the cooking car. Anyway. So bye Preston. Bye Bye, Knight. It's been swell. It's weird that it was ultimately Knight's fault that you guys went home, even though everybody probably thought that it would be Preston suck and that you would go home for that reason. But no, it was Knight's fault. So weird. So now Marlon and Jordan, CT and Wes, and Frank and Johnny are going into the final challenge. That's going to be a fun 3 teams to go into the final, don't you think? I guess we have to wait till next week to see what lady teams will be going into the final. But the last thing that happened in this episode is they went to the pub, not to the club. Paula's playing Jenga because she's 56. And CT's questioning DM about the other night and if she remembers anything and how could she not remember. So they're being all flirty-turdy and everybody is bitching because they don't think that DM should be going back to CT. This brings me back to my question that I opened the recap with. What do you guys think about the CT DM love, romance, and stuff? Tell me down in the comments if you think she's stupid for going back to CT, if you think they're adorable like I do. And also tell me all of your thoughts and comments on this week's episode of the challenge. And don't forget to check out all the links down in the description. Click like because you like me and you like this video and I love you. And I will see you guys next week for another recap of Rivals 2, the challenge on MTV. And until then, peace out! So the best part of the whole episode was when they show up at the jungle and Frank is wearing a headband that says Jeanne on it, showing support for her after he just voted her in. Fucking hilarious. I really wish I had a headband right now. Problem solved. I mean, how stupid is that? That you're gonna vote her in and then be like, oh, I'm so supportive of you. Look at my headband. I'm gonna cheer for you the whole way through this jungle. I didn't have to put you in. Even though I'm not Johnny's biggest fan, that's dumb. About as dumb as me making this headband out of loose leaf and tape.